Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Special Hobby. It's a set in 1/72 scale, which copies DH.100 Vampire Mk.3, and it is focused on European and American operators. So in 1/72 scale it should be quite an interesting build, especially considering that this aircraft looks unusual in whatever size you choose. And we have a commercial sample here, so it will be interesting to see what is actually supplied in this nice box and why you should get it if you're a fan of 1/72 scale. So first of all, we have really beautiful box art, and kit number is SH72453. Here we also have the 4 marking options designation, so there should be Canadian Air Forces, Royal Air Forces, and some other ones. I'm not sure what is that, just give me a second. It's Mexican Air Force and Royal Norwegian Air Force. Next, on the side we have some safety information and reminder that it's made in Czech Republic, and of course on the rear side you'll find color profiles for these 4 marking options. This shark mouth looks quite funny, so it will be an interesting thing to replicate. This is a side opening box. Note that the design of the box has changed slightly. Now it's a glossy cardboard, something unusual for the Special Hobby. And these sprues are packed into this resealable plastic bag. We also have the assembly manual, and I would like also to recommend you to get this mask set. It will be released as a separate product, so definitely check it out because it will help you speed up the assembly and painting process, and of course it will give you a more precise paint work on your model. Next we continue with the gray plastic sprues, so I just opened the plastic bag and we are going to check this plastic sprue. So let's zoom in a bit. Okay. So here we have fuselage house, we also have some wing parts, we have landing gear wheels, we have air intakes which are molded separately, and external features look quite nice. I hope you've seen our previous reviews with this plastic, so it is really good and I think it should be easy to combine together. So here you can take a closer look at all these parts. Note that the attachment points are quite thin, it will be easy to separate them without damaging the actual parts. Here, by the way, we also have landing gear legs, and here landing gear wheels, which should be easy to work with because they're molded as a single piece parts. But as far as I remember, Special Hobby or CMK also makes the resin set, so in case you want even more features you can choose it. Note that inside we have guiding pins, so it will be easy to combine all this stuff together. Next we continue with the second gray plastic sprue. So here we have lower wing halves, we also have separate tail halves, and that's why I think we should zoom in straight away and you'll check everything closer. So that's really cool that we have the nose cones applied as a single piece part, so you won't have any ugly seams and gaps in this area. Next we continue with the tail halves, as I said before, cockpit floor. Here you can see the wing parts, and here we continue with another tail wing which will connect both tail ends together. So let's zoom out a bit. Next we proceed with a clear plastic bag, so here it is. Let's open it and check what is supplied here. So these are the canopy parts. Of course you can open the canopy on your aircraft, and that's a really handy feature if you plan to work on the cockpit of this model. And overall molding quality, as I said, looks quite good. As you remember, I've shown this accessory set which will help you with masking all of these clear parts. And why I recommend it, because it will help you avoid cutting all these tricky shapes of the masks for your canopy. So definitely worth spending some extra money on. Next we continue with the decals sheet. So it is just written that it is printed in Czech Republic. I guess it comes from Edward, but there is no mention of Edward, so who knows. But here you can take a closer look at all these decals. We have stencils supplied, we also have some cockpit decals, which is really useful for those who actually plan to open the cockpit. Here you have some decals for the shark mouth, and of course we have the aircraft numbers separated into this necessary section so that it will be easy to apply them on the model, because they are actually cut just like that on the real aircraft. And of course, last but not the least is the assembly manual. So here it is. Let's close the lenses even more. So here you can see that we have short history note on the first page. It's written in 2 languages. Next, we continue with the parts map. Of course, red crosses mean that you won't need these parts. And we proceed with the fuselage assembly. So fuselage should be quite easy to assemble because we have 2 halves and the top half actually covers the lower one. So you have the seam in this wing root area, and it will be basically hidden by the wings from both sides. That's quite an interesting design, which should help you get more, I would say, beautiful result out of assembly process. Next, we continue with the tail booms. So they are assembled out of 2 halves. As you can see, one is promoted with the tail fin, as you remember, with the rudder. And then we proceed to work with the landing gear parts. Then we assemble the canopy, external fuel tanks if you would like to have them on your aircraft. And here we have the marking guide, which is printed in color. So it provides you the marking option for the Canadian Air Force and also for the, I think it was the Norwegian Air Forces. This one, of course, is interesting because of this red-orange wingtips. Next, we continue with the shark mouth, which comes from Mexico. As you can see, it's a green-yellow marking option, quite bright one, so also an interesting variant to copy in a scale. And one more comes from UK Air Forces, so as you can see, also interesting tail ornament, which will look, I would say, unusual in this small-scale aircraft. Next, we continue with various ads and accessories for different kits. So some of them were reviewed on our YouTube channel. You can find it easily just by typing the kit number, and for example this one is really interesting. And here we continue with 2 Meteor kits as well as some accessories for them. So in case you would like to build a bit more detailed kit, that's what you get for your model. As for today's release, it should be already available and you can get it on official Special Hobby website. In my opinion, this is a really handy release for 1/72 scale builders who would like to copy Vampire in its early versions. Moreover, marking choice is, I would say, quite good because I like the Mexican marking option, I like the Canadian Air Forces marking option. Of course, you can choose something different. Maybe you can even resort to some aftermarket decals. It will be up to you. But again, just to remind you that printing quality here looks really good, and these cockpit decals are also handy in case you don't plan to use any PE parts, because as you remember, this kit does not feature any PE parts, but I think you can get them from Edward for some additional money. So if you would like to have more things in the cockpit, then definitely go for it, because it will provide quite interesting features in such small size. So again, you can get it right away on the official website. I will be happy to hear your opinion here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.